Hey everybody, Dirk here, GC Blues 45. How you guys doing? Um, what a night last night in the NHL. We had a very good night. 10 games on the dock. I did 9 of them, so um, we'll get to that in a moment. But folks, remember if you haven't come across the stream, you have to like it. Give me that thumbs up, duel. It's very important. It helps to keep the channel going. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Starting off with the Edmonton Oilers at the Washington Capitals. Both teams played the night before. Edmonton was 34, 18, and 4 and 72 points. Washington 37, 11, and 8 and 82 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Washington Capitals beat the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 7-3. Shots on goal were the Caps 34, the Oilers 25. The Capitals had 22 saves with the Edmonton with the Oilers 27. The Caps were Washington were 2 for 2 on the power play with Edmonton 1 for 3 on the power play. What boy, oh boy, this was a pretty good game. And this was the early game of the day. That's why I didn't do the pregame report beforehand. Um, it was total domination by Washington, basically. This game was flat out Washington's from the start. Well, it was pretty much even after one period. And then Washington just dominated afterwards. So, way to go. That's why they won. And Alex Ovechkin scored 3 goals. 3 goals. He got a hat trick. And therefore, he's only 13 away from the record, folks. Actually, he's 12 away from tying, 13 to break it. Can he do it? Can he do it? We'll find out. Next was New York at the Penguins. Entering the matchup, New York was 27, 25, and 4 and 58 points. The Pens were 23, 27, and 9 and 55 points. And of course, as you know, yours truly, Pittsburgh. And I lose because Pittsburgh were the favorites. But the New York Rangers at the end of 60 minutes, the New York Rangers beat the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 5-3. Shots on goal were the Rangers 16, the Pens 39. The Rangers had 36 saves with the Penguins 11. The New York Rangers went 1 for 1 on the power play with the Pittsburgh 0 for 3 on the power play. Oh, by the way, with Washington, they win the series 2 games 0-0-0 and on goals 10-5. And for the Rangers, they won the series 3 games to 1. 3-1-0 was their record, and the goals 17-8. Um, total domination. Basically, this was total domination at the starting in the third. It was pretty evenly matched after 2 periods, and then all of a sudden the Rangers just did something, click on the afterburners basically, and scored big. That's why they beat the Pens. So where to go? Next were the Ducks at Detroit. Entering this matchup, the Ducks were 25, 24, and 6 and 56 points. And um, Detroit was the Red Wings 28, 22, and 6 and 62 points. Now, after 60 minutes, it was tied 4-4. This had to go into extra period, and Detroit wins by a score of 5-4. Shots on goal were the Wings 36, the Ducks 28. The Red Wings had 24 saves with the Ducks 31. Detroit went 3 for 4 on the power play with Anaheim 0 for 1 on the power play. Now, the series was tied 1 game each, but Anaheim wins by the record of 1-0-1. They got 3 points, so that's how they won. And also, they got the goals 10-9. 10-9. So way to go by Anaheim. This was pretty much a domination, but it was evenly matched all the way through going into overtime, and that's why Detroit won. Detroit did something, and that's why they beat the Ducks. So way to go. And the Ducks, they did pick up a point, which is great. They pick up a point, but Detroit wanted the two. So way to go by both teams. It was a good neck and neck match, basically. It was evenly matched. So very good. Next was Seattle at Tampa. Entering this matchup, Seattle was 25, 29, and 4 and 54 points. Tampa 31, 20, and 4 and 66 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Seattle Kraken by a score of 4-1. Shots on goal were the Bolts 23, the Kraken 37. The Lightning had 39 saves with the Kraken 19. Tampa did not have a power play. Seattle did not go into the penalty box, but Tampa did, and but Seattle did not score in the power play. They're 0 for 1. Also, Tampa wins the series 2-0, basically swept them, and also 9-2 on the goals. That's right, they outscored them 9-2. What to say about this game? It was pretty evenly matched after 2 periods. And then all of a sudden, Tampa just flat out said, hey, we're not playing this game no more. We're ending it. And bing, bam, boom, look what happens. Tampa just wailed on Seattle. So way to go by Seattle. They did fight digitally, but they just couldn't withstand Tampa. That's why they lost. But Tampa wanted more. That's why they won. So way to go. Next, my Blues. And folks, I was at the game taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Entering this matchup, Seattle was 33, 23, and 2 and 68 points. And the Blues were 25, 26, and 6 and 56 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Blues win by the score of 3-1. Yes. Shots on goal were the Blues 25, the Avs 29. The Blues had 28 saves with the Avalanche 22. The Blues had no power plays. I hate to say there were some penalties, but they, I hate to say it, they were even strength. But Colorado did get a power play, but they went 0 for 1. And way to go by the Blues. What I have to say about this game? This game was tight after one. It was a neck and neck after 1 period, but after the third, in the second period, the Blues just, I can't believe it. They scored 3 great goals half before that. And then in the third period, it was evenly matched, almost got a goal, and it was great. I'm happy for the Blues. They're on the winning streak. Let's keep this up, guys. Let's keep it up. We got a game Tuesday, so let's hope for the best. Yeah, there's a game coming up. Next is the Devils at the Predators. Entering this matchup, New Jersey was 31, 21, and 6 and 68 points. Nashville was 20, 28, and 7 and 47 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the New Jersey Devils beat the Nashville Predators by a score of 5-0, and it's a Pepsi Zero Sugar shutout. That's right, it's a Pepsi Zero Sugar shutout. Shots on goal were the Devils 36, the Preds 29. The Devils had 29 saves with the Predators 31. New Jersey was 1 for 1 on the power play with Nashville 0 for 4 on the power play. And New Jersey wins the series 2 games, 2-0-0. 2-0-0 was the record for the series. And outscored them 10-2. Flat out dominate. Um, this game was total domination by the Devils. Pretty much evenly matched after one, but after two, started second, the Devils just kept going. That's why they won. The Preds, I don't know what's going on with the Preds. You would think, oh, okay, they got Steven Stamkos through free agency. This is going to be good for Nashville. They're going to do great. And somehow the players are not gelling. The players are not gelling. They're. I'll be back. All right, sorry about that. Had to deal with something. But yeah, but great job by the Devils. They're looking good. You might never know. Things could look good. And folks, you really can't afford any losses and stuff. But we'll wait and see what happens going into the next game. Okay. Next is the Chicago Blackhawks at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Entering this matchup, the Maple Leafs were 34, 20, and 2 and 70 points. Chicago 17, 32, and 7 and 41 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Chicago Blackhawks lose to the Maple Leafs by a score of 5-2. Shots on goal were the Leafs the Leafs 30 and the Hawks 27. Both teams had 25 saves. And Toronto was 1 for 3 on the power play, with Chicago 1 for 1 on the power play. And Toronto wins the series 2-0. 2-0-0 was the record. And Toronto outscored the Blackhawks 9-3. What to say about this one? It was evenly matched after one, and then somehow the Toronto got things going. Very good game by Toronto. I have to say, Toronto really said, hey, you're not going to win this one, Chicago. Sorry. So, way to go by Toronto. Next was the Dallas Stars at the New York Islanders. Entering this matchup, Dallas was 36, 18, and 2 and 74 points. The Islanders 25, 23, and 7 and 57 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Dallas Stars beat the New York Islanders by a score of 4-3, which I was hoping New York win, but they didn't. And by the way, this was also my upset special. And apparently, the team that I wanted did not win, so no winner. 20 and this so here we go. The Stars had 29 saves. 29 shots, with the Isles 37 shots. Saves were the Stars 34, the Islanders 25. The Dallas was 2 for 4 on the power play, with the New York Islanders over 2 on the power play. What to say about this one? This game, after 3 periods, was evenly matched. Dallas had the lead after one. They had the lead after two. It was 4-2 after three. I mean, after two periods. New York does get one goal to, keep it tight. And it was a pretty good, evenly matchup. New York did, the Islanders tried, so I'm proud of that. So, way to go. Um, but Dallas just wanted the game more. And by the way, Dallas wins that series 2-0. 2-0-0 was the record. And Dallas outscores the Islanders 7-3. Yeah, seven. Yeah, they outscored them 7-3. Next was the Sharks at the Flames. Entering this matchup, the Sharks were 15-35-7 and 37 points. Calgary 26-21-8 and 60 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the San Jose Sharks will lose to the Calgary Flames by a score of 3-2. Shots on goal, Flames 36, the Sharks 29. The Flames had 27 saves with the Sharks 33. Calgary went 1 for 6 on the power play with the Sharks. Sorry, with San Jose 0 for 3 on the power play. Um, I don't know what's going on with Calabrini and the Sharks. A lot of people are like, oh, Calabrini, he's going to be good. He's an up and coming star. He's going to do good for San Jose. I don't know what's going on with San Jose. Did he want to be in the draft again? Do you want the number one pick again? So, but good going by the Flames. It was total dominant. It was evenly matched after one. Flames score again in the second. Pretty much evenly matched after two. But it was pretty much this game was, it wasn't domination by the Flames. It was pretty much an evenly matched game. The Flames um, fought diligently. So did the Sharks. I have to admit, the Sharks fought diligently. They really did try. And they had a losing effort. So we'll wait and see what happens going into their next game, which is coming up. Hold on here. I got something wrong. That's a rock. And finally, Vancouver at Utah. That's right, the final game of the night. Vancouver at Utah. Excuse me. Entering the matchup, Vancouver was 26-19 and 11 and 63 points. Utah 24-24 and 9 and 57 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Utah Hockey Club beat the Vancouver Canucks by a score of 2-1. Shots on goal were Hockey Club 32, the Canucks 15. Hockey Club had 14 saves with the Canucks 30, and both teams were 1 for 4 on the power play. Evenly matched. It was an even match game. Any team could have won, and Utah wanted it more. That's why they won. So way to go by Utah. And that's it, folks. We're done for tonight. But before we do finish, last night, or for these games today, I went 7. Yeah, I only did 9 games, so I went 7, 2, and 0. Another 14 points. So put me at 237, 137, and 35. I'm over 500 points now. So, way to go by me. So, that's it, folks. I'll see you later today. I'll see you later on for the pregame report. We only got 2 games for Monday. So, you know what that means with only 2 games? We're going to have a 3 stars of the night. And also my 3 stars of the night. Who will get them? Find out when we tune in. As always, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. I love you guys. And until then, peace.